yogis. As I get more comfortable with this platform of looking at you through the lens of the iPad, I'm planning to bring you a few more different styles. So today is our Hatha class, Hatha meaning sun and moon, and how we balance our natures, our energies, our muscles, physically, how we're lengthening and shortening, and expanding and contracting, and very much our lifestyle now of contracting. We're in our small area, and contrary to our need to be social, it's very hard to be alone, and within that aloneness to find a balance of rest versus things to do and things to keep you occupied and stimulated. So we begin, please, in a seated Sukhasana, easy pose. And it's a matter of bringing your legs into a diamond shape or cross-legged, if you choose, wherever you're comfortable. And seated tall, shoulders drawn back, please. So we've got this feeling that we're up against a surface. Hands upon your thighs or to your side, and your eyes closed, just to start with a sense of moving from within. So part of our yoga practice is to learn about ourselves, our body physically, appreciating it for what it does for us, but where are our strengths, where are our weaknesses, and also internally, this self-introspection we have opportunity to do in our aloneness, what's inside, how we shine that light from within. Your breath, please, deep, full, belly breath at that diaphragm, that muscle above your abdominal wall, below your rib cage, that breath is full and deep. Eyes open, chin to chest, right ear over to right shoulder, chin to chest, left ear over to left shoulder. Center, hike up your shoulders on purpose, drop them down the back, and a few circles here in one direction. And then circling other direction. Right hand extending out, left arm up and over, and a long stretch. As you bend that right elbow, feel the length through the left side. Turn your palm up to sky. Inhale, arm reaches up to sky, bring it behind you. Now planting both hands here, long length through the spine, hug your shoulder blades slightly together, and then our rotation stems from the lower belly on that right side, up across your torso, throughout that left shoulder, and looking behind you. Breath coming, center, hand onto the left, right arm up over, long length here, please. Bend your elbow, get more stretch. Resist that right knee downward slightly. Arm up to sky, palm. Bringing that hand behind you. Lengthen through the spine. We want length first before we rotate. Rotation here is that lower belly coming around. Maybe hand onto outer thigh to encourage up and around, adding some resistance. We move first from that lower back, our lumbar spine, then we carry the thoracic spine around, and then the cervical spine, look behind you. Inhale, come center, hands upon your knees. Now drawing back, navel drawn in, chin to chest. Lift, chest forward, shoulders drop down, face up to sky. In our awareness, what's happening as we roll back Shortness through the front body, length through the back body. Opposite when we lift, those back muscles needing to contract and shorten to bring us up. So from this first starting position, we notice how our muscles work in tandem. What's called reciprocal inhibition. If I were to curl my bicep is tightening, tricep is lengthening. So at a joint, those muscles are working in our balance, in that tandem. Now with that awareness, as you roll back, and that shortness between pelvic floor and rib cage, focus a lot on our center, our core. And right there, you're shortening what's called our rectus abdominis, big muscle from pelvic floor to rib cage, and our TVA, transverse abdominis, around the lower abs. And I'll ask you, third class, to really be aware of those core muscles, so to make your pose a bit stronger, more fluid, using the strength of our middle. Coming up, and bring yourself, please, onto hands and knees. And as we place our knees under hips here, palms a little bit in front of the shoulders, fingers spread wide. Think of that tail tuck, shortness between pelvic floor and rib cage. That's the start of our Marjarasana cat stretch. So it's a hiking up mid-back, push into the mat, bend your elbows, extend your chest forward. A few more of these to warm up lower back, underside of the rib cage, our serratus anterior muscle, underarm. Breath in, breath out. Beautiful. Last one. Pelvis neutral. Jut out your right leg, please, toe pointed forward. Now hands walk forward, please, and we're going to stretch back. Hips to heels, drag on your arms. Feel the length. Not to hike shoulders to ears, draw your shoulders to the wall behind you and breathe. Hamstring stretch here, abduction, adduction, inner outer thigh. And shift a little more over to that left hip. Walk your hands around toward that right foot. Now we position ourselves that we're directly over the leg, not to the middle. Wanting to feel here this rotation, part of our core, quadratus lumborum, low back, and this psoas stretch from mid-back under pelvic floor. Part of our cores, our hip muscles that rotate, that move us forward, backward. Hands onto the mat to start with, toes curled, shoulders drawn back, and breathe. Sensation, back of the leg, our hamstrings. Giving you options through class, so if you move to another phase, a little bit more difficult each time, but be sensitive to the alignment. If you can maintain the alignment and maintain your breath, that maybe you stay there. Option is whatever next phase we go to, exploring, see if you can keep it there with that breath even and deep. Maybe that bind and knuckles moving to that side wall and breathe. Release your palms. Bring your foot in, please, a little bit closer. Now we have a 90-degree angle, knee over ankle. Palms down towards that foot. I'm going to drop that leg out to the side, going on the outside of your foot, and then bringing it in mindfully to the midline. Squeeze to your arm. Let that leg float out to the side on the outside of the foot. Draw in. So thinking of that drawing in from that pelvic floor, inner thigh squeezing toward midline. One more time. Swirling out. Stretch through that left. Coming to center. Walk your hands back. Knee, knee. Take your rest into child's position, seating hips to heels, long arms, and perhaps a shift of your hips side, side. Taking a breath here. Arms are long, spread your fingers. Draw yourself up, please, onto all fours. Exhale, sit it back to child's position. Next breath, coming up onto all fours. Now chest heads more to the top of your mat. Feel the stretch to the front of our body. Shoulders drawn back. Taking a breath here, your arms tight to rib cage, lower down, called half chaturanga. Our baby bhujangasana here. Lengthen the legs, anchor them please. Tops of the feet glued. Lift your chest and heart. So someone tugging on your lower body, lengthen from waist to feet. Keep the feet glued, that's your anchor, so that you can stretch and pull yourself forward and breathe. Option, palms up. Palms to heart, shoulders drawn back. Coming up in the reverse of how we got down there, arms tight to rib cage. Return to your child's position. Inhaling onto all fours. Now jutting out left leg, please. Toes pointed forward. So we plant the foot there, got that whole extension through inner and outer thigh. Outer hip here, iliotibial bend from outer hip to the outer knee. Inner thigh stretch, walk your hands a little bit more forward, sit back. Breathe into the tightness. Our muscles do what's called flex reflex. Stretch reflex. I correct myself. That when we ask them initially to stretch, they tend to shorten only because of fear of being torn. It takes a while for our nervous system to send a message to what's called the Gogli tendon to allow that muscle to give. Walk your hands around, toes curled up. Again, our torso headed over that long leg. Maybe hands stay on hips, shoulders drawn back. We want that back working for us again. Not to contribute to a slouch by folding forward. Long extension here, so your thought is you're leading from the chest and the heart. Maybe fingers to floor. Maybe hands behind you in that bind to lengthen. Chest headed towards your toes. Breathe. Release your bind. Bring that foot a little closer, please, at a 90-degree. Knee over ankle. Got to use your geometry here. And bringing the palms down to the inside of your foot. We're going to allow that knee downward, roll onto the outside of the foot, swirl there to look, and bring it back to center, squeezing to your arm to the midline. Swirl out, draw in, press forward through that left hip, that right hip, come center. One more. Out and in. Our balance, our hatha, in and out, up and down, give and take, dark and light, knees together, stretch back into your child. Doing our best in this darkness, knowing that light will come. Not to be trite, but even the rain doesn't last forever, right? There comes sunshine, there comes a rainbow. Taking a breath here, we draw ourselves up again, just headed to the top of the mat. Bend your elbows lower down to half chaturanga. Shoulders drawn back. In our baby bhujangasana, and breathe. Now our variation here, keep those legs anchored, please. Bring your arms out to the side, fingers spread wide, elbows up to sky. Walk your hands in a little closer. Lift your chest and heart. Not to hike to the shoulders. Drop your shoulders down and breathe. Choice. That left shoulder going toward the floor Roll it around, lots of work through the shoulder girdle here. Right, down, roll it side and up, and breathe. Relax. Palm stacked, forehead resting onto your hands. Palms to your heart. Shoulders drawn back. Chest jutted forward, arms tight. Lift up. Return to your child's. And breathe. Coming up onto all fours. Knees under hips. Palms a little bit in front of the shoulders. Our Hasta Bandha, we spread our fingers, middle finger forward, and think that you're spinning those fingers to the outer edge of the mat. Mound down on the space between the the thumb and the first finger. Taking a breath here. Now that tail tuck, or that sensation of shortening the space between pelvic floor rib cage, tilting your pelvis. Curl your toes into the mat. Lift your knees a bit. Now aware that core work, tailbone up to sky, press back, elongate the arms, heels press down as best you can, not flailing those elbows out, but think of underarms hugging toward each other. Breathe. Walking your dog, bend one knee, press the other heel to the floor, deeper stretch in your calves and soleus. With the strength of tail tucked under, back of the thighs pressed to the wall behind you. Shift forward, plank pose, shoulder over palm. Use that lower body. Pressing those heels out. Rest your knees, and we take our rest into child's. Taking a breath here. Coming up onto all fours. Now bring your right leg forward, please. Your right. My left. 90-degree knee. Knee over ankle. Initially, this is Banarasana, low lunge. Taking a breath here. Now think of the length. Not, again, folding forward, but that long stretch up from your knee, long length. Choice here, open up. Now when we turn, this knee tends to go forward. Think of mounding down on that little toe on your right side. So as we move to the side and breathe, option here, reaching down that back leg. Maybe you stop at your calf. Maybe you go to your heel. Maybe you can go to toes. Wherever you can go into our reverse. Inhale, come forward. Now Anjaneyasana. We want to move either back knee or front leg to find an angle here on this left hip. So looking down, it's not knee over hip, but an angle. So maybe you inch this front foot forward or that back knee back. Support onto your quad here, shoulders drawn back. Now our psoas, said to be the most important muscle in our body. It's our core, it's our center, and we hinge from this area. And our psoas muscle responsible for our hip movement, everything we call upon the hips to do. In junction with the quadratus lumborum, all of this hip movement, and as we're pressing here, we're stretching that psoas. Because the tendency is in our seated position, it's always shortened. So we want to open it. So our body is functioning in a balance, that one muscle is not too short and tugging and not doing the job optimally to keep us in our proper alignment. Breathe. Now, if you feel that sensation, maybe you stay there. The further back that knee goes, the less pressure on the delicate cartilage. So move that knee back. If it's still sensitive, you can double up your mat or put a blanket there. Shoulders drawn back, a little bit more intense here as you arc forward, maybe arms up to sky. Back bend as comfortably as you can. Great job. We come back down, palms, taking that leg back out to the side. This time your toes can be turned out to the side. Walk your hands forward. Now think of that core from pelvic floor ribcage. Hug it in, suck it in, zip it up. Beautiful. Arms out to side, our gate position here. Over, long stretch. Come center. Other side, now option, hand onto your hip. This is intense. We're calling upon these obliques and this whole side body to work. Shortening on that left, lengthening on the right. And breathe. Taking a breath. Reach up. Bring it back to center. Bring palms down. Return your knee. Palms a little bit in front of the shoulders. Curl your toes. Knees up an inch. Transfer that weight distribution up and back. Thighs press to the back wall and breathe. And our choice here, lengthening left leg long, 3-leg dog. Returning to our plank, shoulder over palm, use that back leg. Breathe. Rest your left knee, rest your right knee. We go to child's. Next breath, coming onto all fours. Taking now left leg forward. Finding that 90-degree knee, please. Shoulders drawn back. Lengthening through the spine. Not to hike the shoulders, ears, drop them down. Taking a breath here. Now anchor on that little toe. So this knee is drawing outward. Open up to the side. Reverse. Hand reaching down. Breath. Pressing that hip forward. Inhale. Up to sky. And build your angle, making sure you've got that sensation through this area on the hip, our psoas. Now thinking of arcing, if you wish, a little bit more intense. Arms up to sky, perhaps we cross at the wrists. Chest forward, back bend as comfortably as you can. And release. Palms come down. Take that leg out to the side, toes pointed away. Make sure this knee is directly under your hip. Weight of this upper body coming up. Zip it. What's happening here? Back side contracting like a pulley to bring you up. Tall shoulders back. Nice alignment that you're not slouched forward. Breath and over. Back up against a surface. And breathe. Hand onto hip. Arm reaches up. Go where that sensation happens. Use that leg anchoring away from you. Stretch it where you can go. Beautiful. Shoulder drawn back, not forward. Reach that arm up to sky. Bring it back down. Bring knee to knee. And take your rest into child's position. Arms long. Take a breath. Shoulders back, chest jutted forward. Arms tight to side, your half chaturanga as we roll down. Breath here. Now Shalabhasana, locust grasshopper position. Your feet again, legs together. Thinking of one unit. We lift the thighs up at this one. Hands reach to back wall. Thinking that you're pressing your palms to your outer thigh. Lift your chest and heart. Sensation. Glutes, hamstrings contracting. We sit so much, those are overstretched as a rule. And remembering that description of the psoas is tight, pulling us forward, hamstrings and glutes too loose. That causes an imbalance. So we tighten those glutes and hamstrings, breathe. Relax, head turn to left. Gaze downward. Now back to your Shalabhasana, please. And I ask that your head is downward, not to lift the chin. Think about the cervical spine, your neck, not to impinge, but lengthen. Lengthen now, legs out to corners, arms to corners, and then squeeze back to midline. Exhale, arms open wide, corners squeeze together. 2 more, please. Last one, arms to side, head turns to right. Gaze downward, palms at your heart. Thinking always about the palms coming to heart. Think about leading with the heart, returning there. Always this introspection, this opportunity we have. Finding again what your light is, what your dharma is, how to express yourself, what to do as best you can to make the world a brighter place. Chest headed forward, draw up, child's pose. There's your rest, your respite. Inhale up onto all fours. Now again, knees under hips, palms a little bit in front of the shoulders, fingers spread wide. Your Hasta Bandha, tail tucked under, curl your toes, knees lift, hold, tailbone up, press back, lengthen into your dog here. And choices as you press deeper onto left heel, right leg extends, 3-leg dog. Keep now, strength, navel drawn in, arms strong, shift forward, plank pose. Rest your knees. Taking our child's here, sit your hips over to the left side, walk your hands to the right. Another inch, another millimeter. And ultimately, take that left hand, place it atop that right palm. Hands walk center, over to the left, shift your hips over to the right. Arms walk a little bit more, and ultimately deeper, longer stretch to that right side, right palm atop left. Inhale, come center, palms placed, tail tucked under, curl toes, build your downward dog, tailbone up to sky, breathe. Now a slight bend in your knees, look to the top of your mat, walk your feet to hands, coming to Uttanasana, forward fold, bending the knees, torso hangs, allowing some healthy traction on that lower back, reversing what gravity does to compress our spine. And maybe shift your body side to side, making sure those knees are bent, making sure you've got your Pada Bandha, toes spread wide, and even thinking that you're spinning your toes to the outer edges of your mat. With that strong foundation, Tail tucked under, navel drawn in, that rectus abdominis, TVA working here. Roll up, please, slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Sensation, muscles like a pulley again from our low back, mid back, quadratus lumborum, erector spinae multifidus, to name those core muscles on our backside to draw us up to come to standing Tadasana mountain pose, strong. Shoulders drawn back. What is this? This is our Shavasana position. So our thought that our Shavasana, our allowance position, our welcoming position, is needing as much strength, or requires as much strength to allow as does standing strong in this mountain position. So our strength in our situation now, that we don't succumb. We have hope that again the light will shine. Breath in, arms up to sky with a reach. Beautiful. Exhale to your forward fold, Uttanasana, soft knees, torso hangs. Now, thinking of sitting in a chair, raise your arms, bicep ears, Utkatasana, chair pose, power pose. Breathe. Now, keeping again, 90-degree, step back, leg long, find a long lunge. Arms up, come back to your chair, Utkatasana. Step left leg back, wide lunge, hug your shoulder blades. Step up to your chair, back to that lunge. Beautiful. Step to your chair. Now back to your lunge. 90-degree knee, knee over ankle. Into our lunge, challenge yourself. Got this alignment. Hips shifting forward, shoulders drawn back, arms up to sky. Beautiful. Taking a breath here. Now choice is hands onto hips. Straighten that front leg. Option is maybe we lean that torso forward. Shoulders drawn back. Breathe. Bend that front knee. Option is lower leg dips. Coming up. Front leg stretched. Shoulders drawn back. Navel drawn in. Straight front leg. 90-degree. Bend that back knee. Coming up. Now in our Virabhadrasana 1. Back foot turns. Front knee. Still a 90-degree knee. Find alignment as best you can. Heel to instep. Sensation enough that you feel a spiraling on that hip. Now maintaining that you're not forcing, you're not pushing. Maybe you adjust this back foot optimally where you can get sensation but not pain, impingement. Breath in, arms up to sky. Shoulders drop. Warrior 1. Hands behind in your bind. Maybe we explore humble warrior. Pulling back, chest and heart headed forward. Lowering down. Breathe. Trying to draw that knee into midline, not to let it flail out to the side. Arms up, long. Breathe. Release your bind. Now again, that's it. Pelvic floor, rib cage. Roll up. Shoulders drawn back. Back to our warrior 1. Now I'm going to face away from you, but description here. Little toe mound down, just as we did in that low lunge, Badarasana. Torso, hips, shift to the side. I'm going to turn around, just mirror to see you. So we've got our planted toe and rotate. Open. Beautiful. Nod forward. Up against a surface. Energy through those fingers, Virabhadrasana 2. Look beyond that front hand. Now our analogy here. Looking forward. Our gaze forward. Mustering up our hope and our faith. The center that you're aligned here. Present. The moment here. The only thing we have to control is where we are here and now. Our arm reaching behind our past, that we draw from our past. All of those experiences that we handled, all of the challenges that we managed to overcome. Take stock of those and know that we've overcome things before, we can get through this again. Beautiful. Now straight front leg, Trikonasana triangle. Think of lengthening, reaching over that foot. We didn't compromise this hip yet. Hand down the thigh, arm reaches up. Now you explore where you can go here. We don't want to fold forward. It's the stretch through our front body, the tightness through our back body. So wherever you need to hang on to, reaching up, lowering down, again, making sure you're up against a surface. So even if you're low, not a problem, as long as you're feeling that sensation. If you think you need to go to the floor and you compromise this hip movement, not getting into the intent of the pose, to stretch through here, to shorten through the backside. Beautiful. Come to center. Nice. Step your foot forward. Now our Virabhadrasana 3. Thinking here of your body all in one line. Not to think of bend from the hip, that one part of your body is going before the other. So as you step into, feel glute hamstring strong, not a bent knee, not a wimpy leg. Flex that foot, and then your extension. So maybe hands stay onto hips as you maintain more of a center of gravity here. A little bit easier. Option arms out to the side, maybe bicep ear, wherever you can go parallel. Breathing, holding. Little trick is to mound down on that big toe so that our inner thigh, adductors, take over and breathe. Come back to standing, Tadasana. Shoulders drawing back. Nice. Take a breath in, arms up to sky. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Now, Adho Uttanasana, halfway. Support onto your thighs. We're going to elongate the spine, so shoulders drawn back, coming up halfway. Chest and heart headed to the top of the mat. Exhale deeper to forward fold, bent knees. Taking a breath here, palms to floor. Step back to plank pose. Shoulder over palm, abdominals strong, and breathe. Now choice is side Vasisthasana. Option, right knee down, arm open with a reach. Choice is, if you're still in your plank, feet together, arm up, press out. Navel drawn in, abdominals strong. Come back, knees to floor, take your rest into child's. Inhale, other side. So in our plank, wrists directly under shoulders, tail tucked under, stretch left leg, stretch right leg. Using inner thighs, Vasisthasana, left knee down perhaps, or reaching up, legs strong, hug your shoulder blades. Palm down, knees together, rest into child's. Coming onto all fours, palms a little bit in front of the shoulders, knees under hips. Curl toes, back into your down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, and breathe. Open the legs wide. Wider stance giving you more stability, but long arms. Reach left arm behind you, underneath you to right foot. Come forward. Other arm, right hand reaching beyond to left. Now choices, coming to plank in the middle. Lift up, reach back, center, perhaps plank, zip up, reach back, plank pose, center. If you choose, reaching, center. Last one. Bring your knees down. This time, knees wide to the edge of the mat. Bottoms of the feet touch. Do your child's position here and breathe. Extend. Left arm forward. Right arm now is going to reach under that space. Relax your shoulder, relax your ear. Threading the needle here. And breathe. Inhale, other side, right arm extends, left arm underneath, rest your ear, rest your shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Bring your knees in closer under your hips. Palms a little bit in front of your shoulders, fingers spread wide, toes curled, knees up an inch. And then bring it to your down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. Gaze forward. Feet walk to hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. Torso hangs, make sure those knees are bent. And maybe we make that bind, this your elephant trunk here, and move side, side. Beautiful. Now rolling up, please. Padabandha from your feet. Rolling up slowly from your foundation, growing. Such is our life, from what you believe in, what you hold true, what you value, that we grow. Shoulders drawn back, back into your Tadasana, mountain pose. Beautiful. Take your seat into your chair. Nice job. Now seated, hips over heels as best you can. Not forward onto your toes, but in a chair. You're going to step back, left leg, long lunge. Come back to your chair. Left leg, long lunge. Come back to your chair. 2 more. Reach it. Back to your chair. Step back. Challenge yourself. Ball of the foot. Hold. Arm side. Straight front leg. Shoulders back. Use that back side. Bend front knee. Lower back leg. Straighten back. Glute hamstring strong. Press off. Zipping up. Bent knee. Bent back knee. Lift. Hold. Nice. Now in our position here. Foot forward. 90-degree knee. Knee over ankle. Back leg aligned to where you can. So ideally, when you're open here, we swirl forward. Mount down on that little toe. Shoulders drawn back. This spiraling stretch here through that outer side of the hip. Arms up to sky with a reach. Virabhadrasana 1. Anchor those feet. think that you're growing, you're lengthening. Front foot, moving forward, back leg drawing you back, and breathe. Humble warrior here, hands behind. Hug the shoulder blades, stretch outward, breathe, lower. This is my humble contribution to your day. And thank you for allowing me into your house, into your space. Release that bind. Again, feet strong. Roll up from pelvic floor, rib cage, all this upper body weight coming up. Beautiful. Back to Virabhadrasana 1. Now Virabhadrasana 2. Little toe. Open up. Shoulders drawn back. Nice. Gaze forward. And reach. Strong legs. Strong warrior. Mustering up all our strength to hold out a couple more weeks, knowing that we're doing our humble contribution for the greater good. Nice. Now in our Trikonasana, straight front leg, shoulders drawn back, arm reaches out, so we're thinking here of the length through our side body, and breathe. Hand down the thigh, so you're going to position your hips back. Take your time here. Alignment, reaching down. Remember the perhapses, maybe this is where you stay. Option a little bit further, but not to let this hip roll forward. And breathe, and open. Nice. Coming up. Our Virabhadrasana 3. So walk up, find your strength now. Tail tucked under, navel drawn in, hug your shoulder blades. Thinking now of that back leg, glute and hamstring. Leaning forward, maybe this is where you go. Little trick, toe pointed down. When we turn that toe out, what happens is one hip working harder than the other. So we want hips centered. So toe down allows for that. So again, maybe open wide wherever you can go, parallel if you choose, whatever you can maintain. So even if you're a few inches, this is you, fine. Inch a little bit more, inch a little bit more. Arms to side, longer lever, more weight drawing you forward, maybe hands onto hips. But think that you're aligned from head to foot. Coming back to center, Tadasana mountain pose. Nice. Now big step wide, toes forward. Finding your width here, ideally, as you lengthen, your wrists are under your ankles. Saratara Padottanasana. Hands onto hips, chest and heart, headed forward. Now, as you lengthen, butt doesn't go back, but chest juts out. And breathe. Long hamstring stretch here. Navel drawn in. All this upper body weight, challenging this back side. Stretching that back side beautifully. Nice. Now maybe hands stay onto your thighs. Maybe go to the floor. Shoulders drawn back and breathe. Adding a twist here. Left hand walking to right foot. Right hand wrapped around. Now encourage the twist. Shoulder drawn up, looking over. Maybe again, hand is on thigh or shin. Challenge. Come to center, other direction. Hand. Arm reaches up and around. Rotate. Broaden through those shoulders, hug your shoulder blades, breathe. Come back to center. Nice job. Bring your knees down, knee to knee. We find our child's position again. Forearms, elbows under shoulders, fingers spread wide, our low plank. Draw in, tail tucked under, and breathe. Option, maybe we do our side Vasisthasana here. Toes, arm up, center, toes other direction, hand comes up, center, one more, up, center, side, center, and relax. Palms stacked, forehead resting onto your hands. Now right leg, please. Knee directly out in line with your hip. Your foot flexed, hopefully you can see, like a frog foot, and placement there. Your left leg way wide of the mat and resting here. Now we sink into that right hip. Just your body weight here is what's activating that stretch. A little bit more intense if you choose. Your hands walk over to that left corner. Walk to center, other side. Again, knee aligned with the hip. Knee to ankle, foot flailed. Right leg walking way wide of the mat. Widen, widen, widen. Center. Find your sensation. Breathe into that tightness. Option, hands walk more to the right corner. Inhale, come center. Arms to side. Draw up. And bring yourself, please, into a seated position. Toes curled in, shoulders drawn back. Paschimottanasana, intense west stretch, our back side. So we're just going to lengthen. Again, not to contribute to the slouch that we tend to go into, but allow length from your tailbone, crown to the head. Stretch that chest forward where you can go and breathe. Purvattanasana, a stretch for our front body called intense east stretch. Point your toes. Hands behind you, fingers spread wide. Now all of backside contracting, hug your shoulder blades, lift up and breathe. Tail tucked under, navel drawn in. Think of inner thighs hugging toward each other. Rest your hips. Now taking your arms to the very top of your mat. Elbows to the corners, chest and heart lifts. Matsyasana, fish pose. Let it out and breathe. Walking your feet in. Rest your torso. Shoulder blades underneath. Feet planted. Taking a breath here, walk your heels in closer. Now in our Setu Bandha Shavasana, knees forward, toes forward, not flailed out to the corners. Low back glute to the mat, lift into your bridge. So there's a long line from your shoulders to your knees, and breathe. Think of adduction, inner thighs toward each other. Strong feet, push stronger into the mat. Think of your knees now energetically moving more to the front. Now isometric contraction, no movement, but big muscular activity. Think that you're pulling your heels in towards your butt. Pull, pull, pull. Release that. Low back glue to the mat. Bottoms of the feet touch, let the knees plop out. Supta Baddha Konasana. Now your bridge, again please. Heels in, strength. Make your bridge a little higher this time than it was last time. Feel glutes and hamstrings contracted. Now rather than tug your heels inward, feet are still planted, think that you're pushing the mat away. Push, push. Breathe. And release. Rest your lower back, bottoms of the feet touch, knees plop out to side. Arms out to side, palms down. Draw right knee over to left. Arms overhead, and think of a big arc, that front body moving forward. Now maybe you rest here. Option is a little bit more oblique work if you choose. Your hands crossed at your wrists. Maybe we lift, torso to sky. Lift, a lift. Last. Enjoy the rest. Palms down, head turned, opposite of your knees. Other side. Knees go over to the right, arms arced to the left. Stretch it, belly forward, breathe. Option, lift to the sky. Arms stay to your ears, face lifted up. Shoulder blade up off the floor. And relax, come center. Now our Ananda Balasana, happy baby pose. Maybe you do it together, maybe you do one versus the other, or together, or do one, go to the other. Hand to the outside of your foot, knee drawn into your underarm. We resist hand against foot, foot against hand. Either both together, switch to other side. Surgical side here. Still not real comfortable going in this one. Knee into underarm, resist foot against hand, hand against foot. Breathe. Maybe it feels good to rock side side. Legs extended to sky. Now position at end of day. Recommend this to you highly. Called Viparita Konasana, legs up against the wall pose. Reverse gravity, reverse blood flow, always healthy. And it means for you to relax the weight of your body against the wall, to be able to do your breath work, do your meditation, or just pause at the end of your day. Point toes, flex feet, rotate ankles, wiggle your toes. Draw your knees in, stretch out your legs, lengthen width of the mat. Shoulder blades nestled into the floor, flat, comfortable. Raise your arms up to sky, spread your fingers, make a fist with your hands. Scrunch up your face, Wiggle your fingers, rotate your wrists, swallow, relax your throat. Float your arms out to the side. Palms are turned up. Eyes are closed. Deep breath fully and completely through your nose. Hold. Exhale out your mouth. Once more, please. Deep breath fully, completely through your nose. Hold, hold, hold that tension. Notice it during the day when you're tight, when you're constricted. Exhale, sigh out your mouth. Visually letting all that tension go. Rest. Palms are open. To think about everything we hold dear to us. Learning about how much we value the things that we may take for granted. And palms open to give to those to which most is given, much is expected. That we do our part to give, however humbly, whatever we have to give to make the world a better place. Allow your body to sink into the floor. All the weight, all the tension, all the trepidation you hold for a couple seconds, let it go. Tune into your breath, rise and fall, up and down, in and out. You can extend your Shavasana for a lot longer, ideally, for the sake of this video time. Bend your knees, roll onto your side. Eyes open, top hand down to the floor to bring you up. And we come back to Sukhasana, where we returned, or where we began, we returned there. Our life will return to where it was. Again, with all the strength and that flexibility and trust and faith we can muster, we know it will happen. Palms come together, and when we close class, we say the word Namaste. Namaste means I bow to the light within you. So we honor that light, that love within ourselves. As you point your fingers toward you, we point it outward toward others. Namaste, honoring that light and love in each of us. And we show respect to that with a bow. Namaste.